everybody, I'm Stephanie from Stephanie Kahn Fitness, and today we're going to be doing a core workout using a Pilates ball. Now, I've got a Pilates ball that has a little bit of a squishy give to it. You want to make sure that you've got that ball maybe not inflated all the way, because that's really what's going to give you the core challenge. Now, you can of course do this workout without a ball, but a ball will really add a nice challenge for your core. If you don't have a ball, you can also maybe substitute a small throw pillow or a folded towel. Will work for some of these exercises as well. So we're going to get started in an all fours position today. So you're going to take your Pilates ball and place it between your legs and then come onto all fours. So let's balance ourselves so our shoulders are right over the crease line of our wrists and our hips are going to be right over the knees. Belly draws in. So instead of sagging here through the core center, I want you to push down into the floor and really find that engagement through the core. Now from here, we'll start just warming up the spine a little bit as we inhale, lift the tailbone, sliding the chest forward. So you're going to open through the chest. Then as we exhale, tucking the tail, rounding through the back. So let's try that again. Inhale, belly drops, chest lifting. And then we exhale, scoop, tuck, and round. Can we do that a few more times? Big inhale, open through your chest. Big exhale, tuck and round. Let's do two more just like that. Inhale, opening your chest. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time here. Inhale, open that chest. Exhale, tuck and round. Now from here, we'll come back to that neutral spine position. I want you to imagine that I've just placed a tray of drinks on your back, and you're going to try to balance that imaginary tray of drinks as we tuck our toes, and you're going to squeeze that Pilates ball using your inner thighs. And as soon as you start to squeeze, you might actually notice that your low belly draws up and in just a little bit. So we're starting to firm into that deep core. Big inhale here. Now as we exhale, squeeze the ball, push the hands down through the floor, lifting your knees just a few inches off the floor. So we're just going to hold this. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. So find that engagement into your low belly. Navel draws up and in towards the spine. And then we're going to release down. So you should have felt that low belly pull up and in as soon as you started to lift your knees off the floor. That's what we're looking for when we come into plank. So from here, we're going to gently come into our plank position. So to walk those feet back, we can come down. Now you can choose to be in a forearm plank here, or if you prefer, you can come up onto your hands. So you're still going to squeeze that ball. I'm going to do my plank on my hands today, shoulders right over the crease line of the wrists. We're just going to squeeze that ball, lifting the knees off the floor so that spine is long. Engage through your inner thighs. Breathe deeply here. So we want to make sure that our hips are level with our shoulders. So instead of dipping down like this and arching the back, squeeze through the inner thighs on that ball. Float your hips up so that spine is nice and long. Hold it here. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your knees down. Send your hips back real quick. Little stretch through the back. So we're going to come back into that plank. So readjust your ball if you need. Again, forearms or hands, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Finding your plank positioning. Press your hands into the floor. Lift yourself up into that plank. So we can choose just to stay here. Or if we want to, we can start to engage the inner thighs a little bit more by pulsing in on that ball. Adds a little extra magic, right? Pulse in on that ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So we're starting to work those inner thighs. Pulse it, keep breathing. Belly is working so hard here. Nice long spine. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. And again, sit back into your child's pose. So we have one more plank today with that ball between our legs. So if you're not comfortable doing some of these plank variations, you're just going to hold your plank, catch your breath, coming back into your plank position. So we can choose to hold here, squeezing that ball, or if you want, we're just going to start to lift a leg, put it down, lift a leg, put it down, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Now this time we're going to lift that right leg up. You're going to pulse in on that ball. Pulse, 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 pulse. Use those inner thighs. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Lift your other leg and pulse. In, pulse, 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 pulse. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enough of that. Whew. Set that ball down. You can shake out your arms just a little bit, because I'm sure they were shaken too. A little bit of sneaky upper body work. So swinging yourselves around, you're going to take your Pilates ball and place it right behind your tailbone. So this is going to add just a little bit of support for our low back here. I want you to sit up nice and tall here. Now it's okay to scoop a little bit with your low belly as we do this, but we want to avoid like kind of crunching in with our upper body. So we're going to think long through the spine, but we also want to avoid hyperextending and popping that rib cage forward. So you're going to find like your Goldilocks position right in the middle there. So with that ball behind the tailbone, lengthening up nice and tall, scoop in with your low belly. We're just going to sit back and then come back up. Now if you need, you can hold behind your hamstrings for a little bit of extra support. Let your shoulders relax. If you wish though, we can start to extend the arms and lift back up. Scoop that belly, lift, lift, lift. Navel draws in. I want you to really focus in on those deep core muscles. Now, if we prefer, we can start to open the arms out to the side as we do this, and then come back up to center. Scoop, opening out to the side, and then come back up to center. Scoop, opening out to the side, and come back to center. Can we do 2 more just like that? Now we're going to keep our arms right as they are, and we're going to lean back and we're going to hold. So start to notice that little earthquake that's happening in your low belly. Now from here, arm that's closest to me, we're going to lift it up and lower it down. Other arm, lower it down. Lift, lift, lift. Keep connected into that core center. Lift, lift, lift. Lower down. Shoulders slide down and away from the ears. Now we're going to do the same thing this time with the legs. Lift your right leg, lower it down, lift your left leg. Squeeze into it. Oh my goodness. Abs are shaking. I want you to draw that navel in towards the spine. Now, if you're feeling really crazy today and you want an extra challenge, opposite arm, opposite leg. So right leg, left arm, Left leg, right arm. It's shaking, but your core stays super duper strong. We got it. Lift and lower. One more time. We got one more in us, right? And gently hold behind your hamstrings. Sit up nice and tall. So we're gonna come back to that same position. We're gonna add a little rotation. So let's reach those arms up. Now, as we lean back, the hand that's closest to me is just gonna reach back. So take that front arm, reach it back. Then we're gonna lift, come back up to center. Scoop through that low belly. I want you to find that strength through your deep core. Use those obliques to rotate. So your hips are wanting to stay put, but we're rotating around that rib cage. Using the muscles of the waistline, but also engaging through those deep core muscles. Inhale as we open back. Exhale as we scoop, pull back up to center. Don't forget to breathe. We've got 4 more here. Last 4, 3, 2, and last one. Beautiful. Gently moving your ball. So from here, we're gonna take the ball onto the floor and we're gonna lie back so that our ball comes right between your shoulder blades. So take a second to find that positioning. Knees are bent. We can just let ourselves stretch for a second here. This part should feel really good. Hands gently cradle the head. So your elbows are gonna point out to the side. We're gonna scoop our belly and float our shoulders up. So from here, we're gonna come into a little bit of a crunch, but I want you to, again, think of it starting as a scoop from your low belly instead of like a pull and crunch with your upper body. So find that positioning with your ball. We're just gonna exhale, scoop. You've got a fist distance between your chin and chest. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, scoop and lift. Inhale to come back down. Exhale, scoop and lift. So this should feel a little bit different because we have that ball behind us. So we can actually come into a little bit more of a spinal extension than we would if we were just doing, let's say, a crunch on the floor. So we've got a little bit more of a range of motion. I want you to think about crunching that front bottom rib down in, and you're gonna squeeze like you're squeezing an accordion. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Now this time we're gonna add a little change. We're just gonna pulse. 3, 2, 1, release. Pulse. 3, 2, 1, release. Pulse. 3, 2, 1, release. Pulse. 3, 2. Now let's pulse. 7 and 1. Pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Last time. It's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this time we're gonna lift, we're gonna hold. Take your hand that's closest to me. You're gonna extend that arm. We're gonna tap the ankle, come back to center. So it's like you're bringing that middle finger right to the outside of your ankle. Come back up. Chest stays open. Squeeze through those obliques. Let's do 2 more on this side. Really find that contraction. And now coming back to center, hands cradle the head. Other arm extends. We exhale, squeeze and tap. doing our best to keep our collarbones parallel to the ceiling. So it's almost like a little windshield wiper type movement. Just a few more here. Last 3, 2, and last one. Release. You can stretch real quick, gently bringing yourself up so that you can move that ball. And let's come down onto our backs. So with the ball, we're going to lengthen our spine and bring our legs into a tabletop position. So knees are balanced over the hips and your spine is in neutral. So that back bottom rib wants to stay on the floor and you're going to pull your low belly in like you're trying to slide your front bottom rib towards your hips. So again, you're going to really engage those deep core muscles, but the shoulders are going to stay underneath us as well. So take the ball and place it on your back thigh. So the leg that's furthest away from me, you're going to press that same hand into the ball. So it's like you're trying to squeeze the ball between your hand and that thigh. So equal pressure both ways. And then we can take that other arm up towards the ceiling. Now from here, we're going to pull the belly in. The front leg, without changing the angle of the knee, is just going to tap down and lift up. So keeping that connection into the core so that our spine stays neutral, but we're pushing the ball into the leg into the ball. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, we can start to reach that opposite arm, but I want you to notice what the back of your rib cage is doing as we do that. If you notice that your rib cage starts to kind of pop a little bit off the floor and we lose that connection, then we're not going to add that arm in today. Can we do 3 more? In 3, 2, and 1. Gently hug those knees and release out your low back real quick. We're going to do that same thing with the opposite side. So again, tabletop, push like you're trying to pop that ball. Arm comes up. We're just going to pull the low belly in as we tap the toe down. Come back up. So again, it's a movement from the hip joint as we do this. So the thigh is moving away from the body and coming back in. Now, if it worked for you on the other side and you want to try it here, we can start to add that arm. But it's okay if the arm doesn't come all the way over the head. Maybe you're just going to like here and pulling it back up. As soon as you feel that core engagement, but your back stays neutral, that's where we're going to stop today. Gently release. Again, you're going to hug those knees in. Now from here, let's place our feet on the floor. You're going to push the feet down into the ground, lift your hips, and you're going to take your ball and place it underneath your tailbone. So we're supported here. If this doesn't really work for you today though, feel free just to keep the hips on the floor. This is just going to add a little bit of extra core challenge. It might feel really good on your low back as well. So from here, we're gently going to place the hands down, bring the knees in, and then send your toes up. So take a second to make sure that you've got your balance and your shoulder blades are going to be underneath the body. So we want to make sure we're not curling them up. Really think about anchoring them down underneath your body, pointing your toes. We're going to go out and around here. So we're just going to circle out, come back in. Out and around. Circle, belly pulls in. And we're We're gonna go 2 more this direction. And 1 more. Now let's reverse our circles. We're gonna go down, out, and in. Pull your core muscles in. We've got 2 more, and it's okay to have a little bit of a bend in the knee here. Circle out and around. Circle out and around. Now, legs are up. We're gonna take our right knee, pull it in towards the chest. Send your left leg away from you. Belly zips up as we bring our legs back up. And then other side. We are coming down the home stretch here. Can you draw your navel in just a little bit more towards the spine? Finding that strength through the low belly. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as you pull in to zip back up. Let's do 4 more here. Last 4. Pull in to lift up. 3. Zip, zip, zip. 2. And 1. Now from here, let's pull the right knee in, and you can place the left foot on the floor. Give that right knee a little bit of a hug. So if this is where you feel stable and comfortable, stay here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can send that other leg away from you, and you're gonna feel a really nice stretch into that hip flexor. So for some of us, this feels a little too intense. You can always bend that knee, place the foot on the floor, or just ditch the ball and do this stretch with your hips down on the ground. So just give that knee a nice little hug. Releasing out here. And exchanging sides, so we're gonna put that right foot down, hug your left knee in, and then if it works for you, take that leg out and away, stretching into your hip flexor. Gently release. Let's walk both those feet in. Push down through your feet to lift up so that you can slide that ball out from under your hips. Knees hug in. So give yourself a little low back stretch here. We're going to make our way over onto our side. Use your hands to push yourself up to a comfy seated position. Let's place our hands on our thighs. Inhale. Open your chest. So you're going to find that nice little stretch up here at the top. Then we're gonna exhale, scoop our belly in around. Stretch out some of those muscles. Again, big inhale, lift tall. And exhale, scoop and round. Coming back to center, we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's give ourselves 1 more big deep breath in. And big deep breath out. Wrap your arms around yourself. You're gonna give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back for doing a great job today with our Pilates ball core workout. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.